We are predicting the entire NFL season today. Lock in. Let's do it. Wow. I feel like I have methamphetamine in my throat. Jesus. All right. Holy crap. Like I said, we're predicting the entire, all 18 weeks of the NFL. And then we're going to predict the postseason as well with a playoff bracket and kind of see who the Super Bowl winner is going to be. This might be a little bit of a long video. We're going to talk a lot about this stuff. How about that forehead, though? That forehead still looking good? How about that? Shit. Okay, now I'm good. Okay, like I said, we're going to be talking about the season here. I think we're just going to start off and just get ripping. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do the scores because that's impossible to actually predict. But I will predict, and it's impossible to get everything right here, too. I'm not saying I'm going to be perfect. If I am, someone better give me $1 billion, that is, because that would be spectacular. But starting off week 1, I believe this is going to be Wednesday, September 7th? Is that right? Nope, September 9th. The first game of the season is a rematch of the Super Bowl, which I think New England is going to be struggling this year. Even though they have gained a couple things and they look good, whatever. I think Seattle is just significantly better and they take this. I also don't think this is going to be the score, but we're not worried about the scores. I think this is going to be the first really close game of the season, and it's only the second game of the season. With that, though, it's going to be hard to go against the Rams. They're at home first game of the season, and they're going against San Fran, which San Fran does look good. They are healthier this year. They have Mike Evans now. So, I mean, there's stuff in their favor, but, I mean, we don't even, as of recording this, it's the 25th of July, and the Rams, there's a thing in the air of, like, Aaron Donald might come back. And if Aaron Donald comes back, I think that we might have it might be the second perfect season of all time, and we'll see. But for now, getting Myles Garrett, getting everyone, I think the Rams do win this one. And I think Stafford still looks good. I think he's going to play a couple more years. I think he looks good. And Puka Nacua is still one of the best wide receivers in the league. Moving on to the third game of the list here, we got Chicago versus Carolina. Listen, I'm like a bandwagon Carolina fan, sort of, because they played good last year, and I was like, root for the underdog type of thing. But I wish I believed in them more, but I don't believe in them whatsoever. I think they are in the easiest division in football, being in the NFC South, because, like, the Falcons last year sucked. They still don't have a quarterback. I think they're going to suck again this year. The Saints last year were horrible. The Bucs shined like they were the best team in the league for like 9-10 weeks, and then fell off a cliff. So, like, do I think the Panthers are good? Yes. Do I think they're good enough to actually go back to the playoffs? No. For that reason, I'm picking the Chicago Bears. I think they're going to take another step. Hopefully they take another step. I don't want them to drop off a cliff like the Commanders did last year. Holy piss fest here. The Jets versus the Titans. I don't think anyone's excited for this game. I don't even know, though. I'm going to pick the Titans because they just got Wan'Dale. They have Cam Ward going into his second year. They did just get a new head coach in Robert Saleh. I think Brian Daboll, although he did do decent things with the Giants when he was with us, I think he's a way better offensive coordinator than he is coach. And I think because of that, Cam Ward is going to develop a lot this year. And this offseason in particular to lead up to the first game. And the Jets they have Geno Smith, Aaron Glenn's on his second or third year. And I mean, both defenses are going to be better because we're getting Robert Saleh, Aaron Glenn. I just don't see a lot in that game. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, I'm going to need someone to understand this and someone to kind of teach me about this. Why are the New Orleans Saints getting the love that they're getting? Like, everyone's saying Tyler Shuck he won Rookie of the Year. He was the best person in what? I don't think the Saints are going to be anything this year. And we'll see at the end of this list how I rank them, but they're looking rough. Moving on to the sixth game of this week, Tampa Bay versus Cincinnati. This one's hard. Tampa Bay lost Mike Evans. I don't know how much they gained. I really haven't paid a lot of attention to other games. I'm kind of a casual. So, take it as it is. I'm not a professional sports analyst here, but Cincinnati did pick up good things. They got Linderbaum? No, I'm lying. They lost. No, I don't know. No, Linderbaum went to the Raiders. They got the best wide receiver duos in the league. They have arguably the best quarterback when healthy in the league. It's just their O-line sucks. Their defense sucks, but did get a little bit better. Just because I've heard so many people have high hopes for the Bengals, I'm going to pick the Bengals week 1 to win this game. Also because Tampa Bay lost a little bit. Same thing here. Baltimore. Listen, I could be a glazer of John Harbaugh now that he's the Giants coach. I might be a glazer, and I might say without John Harbaugh, the Ravens are dookie boo-boo. But I feel like I would have said that without him coming to the Giants. I think John Harbaugh kept this team together, but, they did get a new head coach. Don't get me wrong, Lamar Jackson is still probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's probably top 3. Maybe top 4. We'll see what happens this year. And Indiana, I think, is good, but I don't think they're going to beat the Baltimore Ravens week 1. But I could see Indiana, doing another thing where they go 8-9 or whatever if Daniel Jones wants to play like he did when he was healthy last year. Okay, Cleveland Browns versus Jacksonville. Browns might go 0-16. I'm not even going to talk about the Browns right now. Atlanta versus Pittsburgh. If Atlanta had a quarterback, I think the team has a chance. Wow, we're going to step back one more time and we're going to go forward again. Okay, Atlanta, if they had a quarterback, I think could be a Super Bowl favorite. I think Atlanta's defense is arguably a top 3 defense in the league, if not the best. Their defense is spectacular. It's just, and now they have a defensive head coach he was in conversation to be the Giants head coach. And now I can't remember his name, but I know he was the Bears head coach for a while, and the Bears had a good defense then. But I think Atlanta is going to have an amazing defense again, but they just don't have a quarterback. If Tua decides he wants to not have CTE this year and ball out like he did that one year in Miami, then maybe they'll be good. I don't like them either this year. I don't even know. I think I'm going to pick Atlanta just because of their defense and because everyone should be healthy week 1. So that's why I'm going to go there. Okay, moving on to Buffalo-Houston here in week 1. This is going to be a long, long video, by the way. Holy cow. This might be an hour-long video. Okay, Buffalo versus Houston. I think Buffalo is a better team overall. I think Buffalo has done better or has better achievements over the past 5 years. But Houston looks nasty. Another one of those teams that has like top 5, top 3 defense in the league. Another conversation of best defense in the league. And their offense was clicking last year. 2 years ago, they sucked. And last year, they got to the playoffs, but people that kind of like pushed them out of the way because they sucked the year before and they lost pretty early in the playoffs. But they were 12-5 last year. So like that's a good record. I don't know how bad their competition was, but that's a good record. So I don't know. I think Houston's going to be really good. I think it's going to be hard for Buffalo to get its start. I think week 1 we go Houston. I could be wrong here. I could be a delusional chud, but Houston kind of looks good. And I think Buffalo losing one of the best head coaches in the league, it's going to be a little struggle initially. We'll see what happens. I might be biting my tongue after week 1, but stuff happens. The team right there that I think could go 0-16, and I'm not even joking. Like I was kind of joking with like the Jets and the Titans and the Browns, I meant, but Miami is genuinely horrible. Like Malik Willis they got, which I know he had like a little strut in Green Bay where he was like okay, but other than that, I don't think they're good at all. I think they just lost the head coach who was a great offensive mind, who's now I think is going to be great in the place that he went. Now I can't remember where he went. But I think Las Vegas wins this one, and I don't think Vegas is a good team at all. I think Vegas needs like 2 more years to become an actually solid team. But anyways, moving on to the next one. Cardinals, another team that might go 0-16. Like, unless the Cardinals and the Dolphins play each other one time, I think both of those teams go 0-16 this year. They are horrible. I don't think I'm going to pick them in any of these games. Maybe one if it's like a toss-up and stuff could happen, but I mean, it is the NFL. Like any team could technically win any week. We saw the Panthers beat the Rams almost twice last year. And again, Panthers were better last year, whatever. But I'm picking the Chargers easy on that one, and I think the score will be a lot higher on the Chargers side. Listen. Green Bay, Minnesota. Okay, listen, I'm actually really excited for Minnesota this year. Minnesota's that like a weird team where like we beat them in the playoffs a couple years ago. I'm talking about the Giants, that is. And it was like this like slight weird rivalry in my imagination. I don't know if that's like a true thing around the league with the Giants and the Vikings, but it's just like this weird little tiny rivalry I had in my head with the Vikings and this like head clashing with the Vikings, but it's like a love-hate relationship because I think this year they're going to be one of the better teams in the league. 2 years ago, Sam Darnold brought the Vikings to 14-3, like dominated the NFC North, was like this great team, and then lost in like the first or second round. But they were this spectacular team, and I think Kyler Murray is gonna have a really good season. I think their head coach and their offensive coordinator, or whatever the situation is over there, knows how to make a quarterback really good. And if Sam Darnold was on the 49ers beforehand, which he could have been, then maybe it was helped to be good for the Seahawks winning that Super Bowl. But I think Kyler Murray is going to be great on the Vikings. I think Justin Jefferson's going to have a spectacular year because of that. And their defense is always solid enough to get them wins. So I'm going to go Minnesota here. I don't think Green Bay is going to be very good at all. They might be good. They've always been in conversations, but I think it's Minnesota all the way this game, and especially at home, which I just realized I picked most home games this week, or this first week here, but whatever. Washington versus Philly. People are so high on Washington, and these 4 games right here, this is my region, the NFC East. This is where I know a decent amount about. mostly the Giants, but all these other teams too. I think Washington is going to be just as bad as last year. I think their roster sucks. I don't think I can name one. I don't think I name a wide receiver on the team. If they still have Zach Ertz, he was hurt last season. And I think Jaden Daniels is maybe 140 pounds, and you can't be an NFL player at 140 pounds. That's just not how that works. And because of that, I think Philly wins. And I still also don't think Philly's that great. I think Philly is going to be like, They were kind of last season, but then they lost the wide receiver. I think they lost a couple defensive players too, if I'm not mistaken. And I think they're going to be a little bit rough. I don't think, like, people were saying that Jalen Hurts was also like a Russell Wilson comp, where the team doesn't like him anymore. So because they don't like him, they might not want to play with him, and they might not care as much. So I don't know. That's an option there. But I think that's that with Philadelphia. But I still think they pull out a win here, and it's probably not going to be 16-18. It'll probably be a higher score for Philly. And then Dallas, New York Giants. So listen. I'm going to try to keep my bias out of here as much as possible. But at the same time, I do know the most about the Giants than any other team in the league. And I think the Giants are the most underrated team going into the season. At least from like Chad's point of view, is that the Giants still suck. But you need to understand, we just picked up one of the best coaches of all time, a top 10 coach of all time. I think you could put him in that conversation. First ballot Hall of Famer for sure. You now go Jackson Dart, who's a second-year quarterback, who had better stats in his rookie year than Drake May did in his rookie year. So like Drake May's rookie year was like here. Jackson Dart's rookie year was like here. So it was just that little bit better. And I think he's going to take a massive leap this year. Malik Neighbors coming back we just learned like 2 days ago, yesterday, maybe 2 days ago. I don't know, that he's like off the PUP list, which means he's going to be there for training camp. He might not be a full pads and do everything in training camp, but he's not on the injured list, basically, is what they're saying. So I think he has a chance to come back week 1. I'm pretty sure said that, our coach and GM. And then the defense. Bro, Arvell Reese was the top prospect of all the players this year, and we got him 5th overall. This big body guy who's also proven himself in the league as like a solid linebacker. Abdul Carter is going to play out of his mind. We now have a defensive coordinator who's a great defensive mind, and he's proven it in the league. Brian Burns was the second best edge rusher in the league last year behind Myles Garrett, in sacks at least. I don't think Dallas defense is as good as what people say. They did get a new defensive coordinator, which I think for Dallas is great, and I think they have a couple of pickups last year on defense that I think helped them. I don't know. I think the Giants defense is good enough to stop the Dallas offense. And I think we're going to see that week 1, and I think the Giants come out with a win at home week 1. I think the fans are extremely hyped to be there, and it's going to be packed with Giants fans, and I'm not going to be there, but Giants fans in general are going to be loud and obnoxious, like New York, And then, honestly, final game of the week, Monday Night Football. This is a crazy game. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos. This has a chance to be the AFC Championship game, in my opinion, even though they are both from the same division. But we saw that a couple years ago with Philly and Washington in the NFC Championship game. But Kansas City's going to look good this year. Mahomes is coming back from his injury, and he's claiming that he's better than ever. But then on the other side, Denver's defense is disgusting. Bo Nix is coming into his 3rd year, and he looked good last year. I'm going to give Denver that game. I have to speed this up, I'm realizing, because I'm almost 20 minutes in, and we just got into week 1. So that was kind of my list of like all the things that are good about the teams and all the things that are bad about the teams. Week 2, week 3, all the way up to week 18, I think I'm going to talk about that a lot less, just to kind of get this done, but also because I just went over it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, Thursday Night Football, Detroit versus Buffalo. I think Detroit's great, but I think Buffalo, I don't know. I think actually Detroit might take this. It's still summertime. I was thinking like maybe the weather was going to screw with them, but it's summertime still. That's like mid-August. I think Detroit takes this. I think Detroit beats Buffalo. Buffalo's looks good, but Detroit looks... Nah, you know what? I'm going Buffalo. I'm sorry. I'm going Buffalo. Carolina versus Atlanta. I don't think Carolina's great at all right now. Like I said last time, Atlanta. Minnesota versus Chicago. This is going to be hard. I don't know how much the home advantage is going to work here, but the Bears are really good, but I think the Vikings are going to be really good. So this is hard. I'm going to go Vikings. I think that's a crazy take from most people's perspective, but I am really high on the Vikings this year because they really haven't lost a lot, and they're getting Kyler Murray, who's a good quarterback. They won 9 games last year, by the way. They J.J. McCarthy. Okay, anyways, we're not rambling about that anymore. Philadelphia definitely beats Tennessee. I think that's an easy game for Philly. I think Green Bay rolls through the Jets. The Jets are going to be hard to pick as a team to win a game. Maybe they win week 1 against the Titans, but we'll see. Tampa Bay against Cleveland. I think still got some juice in them, whereas Cleveland is... I don't think New Orleans is a good team. I think Baltimore's still decent, so I think they take that. I think there's going to be a battle for Houston because their defense is so much better. That doesn't come out properly. I think Houston dominates this game, and that actually might be an accurate score because Houston's offense is not great, But Cincinnati's offense is great, but Houston's defense would dominate Cincinnati's offense. So, I don't know. Pittsburgh versus New England. I think New England takes that easy. I think Pittsburgh is slowly falling apart. They still might be like a 7-8 win. Actually, no. They just got a new head coach. They don't have Mike Tomlin anymore. Pittsburgh Steelers might have 5 wins next year. We'll see. Jacksonville, Denver. I think Denver takes that at home. They're playing in Mile High Stadium. Hard to breathe out there slightly. And I think they beat Jacksonville because of it. Vegas versus Los Angeles. The Chargers take this one. I think it's actually fairly easy for them. Washington, Dallas. Dallas takes their first win of the season here. They might take it against the Giants in week 1, but I'm high on the Giants right now. Seattle, Arizona. Seattle takes this one with ease. Again, Arizona might go 0-16. San Francisco takes this one ease. Same thing with Miami. I think the Chiefs are going to be better this year. I might have them a little lower than a couple people and than some others. Like some people have them as like Super Bowl favorites, and I don't love that. But I think they'll still be good. And then last game of the week is Monday Night Football, which is, by the way, 2 primetime games for the Giants back-to-back weeks. Jackson Dart has proven himself good in primetime last year. Going into his second year, he might be even better, but I think Rams are just going to be unstoppable this year, and they take the second week from the Giants. Okay, week 3, same thing here. Green Bay's Green Bay. I think they do take this one, actually. I'm lying. I think they take this one. I was going to say they don't win this one, but I think I've put Atlanta on too high of a pedestal because of their defense, and I forget their offense is going to suck without their quarterback because they don't have a quarterback. There's not anything in my head that's saying that either Tua Tagovailoa or they just got a left-handed quarterback somewhere, and I can't remember who it was, or whoever the secondary quarterback is going to do anything for them. I don't think so. They might help out a little bit, but I don't know. Buffalo Chargers, I don't know. I think Chargers are now having, they're going into their 3rd year under a Harbaugh brother. Ow, holy crap. Jim Harbaugh. I think that's right. John and Jim Harbaugh. Is that right? I don't know. But they're going under the 3rd year with him. I think he's getting back to how the NFL's played. He was great in Michigan, win the national championship, but I think they're going to be really good. I don't know, like Buffalo's so weird because they have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think Josh Allen is top 3, which actually probably moves Lamar Jackson to 4 because I think Matthew Stafford is 2, Mahomes is still 1, which means Burrow's 5. But Burrow's only 5 because he's been hurt. Anyways, Josh Allen is spectacular. DJ Moore is now added to the team, and he's shown signs of being good. They still have James Cook, who's good. Their head coach, I feel like, helped them out a lot. It was just that their team sucked. Like, I never remember a time in the past 5 years ever saying, oh, wow, Buffalo's defense is spectacular. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if this is going to change this year, and I'm just completely mistaken. But because of that, I'm going to say the Chargers win this one, and the score will definitely be higher than 15-14. The Carolina Panthers versus the Cleveland Browns. Panthers just went to the playoffs. They're winning this game. Cleveland Browns suck. I'm sorry for any Browns fans. You guys are going to be fighting for that draft pick. Same thing with the Jets. I mean, I'm not picking Detroit. Moving on, I think, oh my God. See, like, Indiana's schedule is low-key tough. Because, like, I've already have them at 0-2, and Houston is beating them. Like, I don't think Indiana wins this game, but I also don't think Indiana's as bad as the Jets. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's interesting. I also don't think Indiana's worse than the Panthers. So it's really interesting. But yeah, they definitely lose that game. Kansas City definitely beats Miami. I don't think there's a doubt in my mind. I think the Giants dominate Tennessee. I do not want to lose to Dave at all because he's the offensive coordinator of the Titans now. This is another one where it's like, I don't know what to pick here. I want to pick Pittsburgh because they're at home and maybe they're figuring things out by week 3. And they'll probably have Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know. I want to believe in Cincinnati, and I think I'm gonna. I think Seattle starts out 3-0. They've kind of faced dog poo-poo for the most part. See, this one's also hard because Jacksonville, even though they kind of sucked in the playoffs, regular season, they played good. And I think the Patriots had a lucky season last year. So I think Jacksonville takes that. Arizona versus San Fran, another team 0-16, so I'm going to go San Fran. Minnesota, Tampa Bay. Do I really think Minnesota's starting 3-0? That's what's tricky. I do. Oh God, that's scary. Okay, we'll see what happens. I really don't know what's gonna happen here. That's interesting to me. Baltimore versus Dallas. I think Dallas takes this one. They're at home, which doesn't really do too much. It's a dome stadium with AT&T Stadium. But Baltimore also, I think, is gonna fall off a cliff this year a little bit. That's why I'm taking Dallas. Rough. I'm gonna go the Saints because people are higher, so it's giving me like a false sense of hope, I think. But it's also the Raiders. I don't think are gonna be great. I think, like I said earlier, I think they have a couple more years until they start being like decent. The Raiders in like 5 years could be a Super Bowl winning team, and we're terribly unaware of that as of right now. This one's going to be hard against one of the best defenses in the league with a solid offense. That's going to be a difficult game. And there's not like a lot of travel time, so I can't like contribute, losing that many hours of sleep or whatever into that. I want to go because Rams are going to have to lose a couple games eventually. And I feel like Denver is a team that can take their throne. Like this could very well be the Super Bowl this year. Do I think it's going to be? Probably not. But the way Denver played last year, if Bo Nix can stay healthy in the postseason, I don't know. I think that could very well be a Super Bowl. I'm going to go Denver, and it's probably going to be a close game like this. 20-18. And then going into the final game of the week, Monday Night Football, I think, I want to go Philly here because I think Philly's the better team, but I think Chicago's, going to grow so much, and I think Philly's going to drop so much. So for that reason, I'm going to go Chicago. Okay. Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. Foof. I think Pittsburgh does take this one. I'm surprised I have Pittsburgh 0-3 so far, now that I'm thinking about it. But I don't think Cleveland wins this game. I think Cleveland's going to win. They're going to win a pitiful game like this. They're going to play like the Titans or the Jets or something, and they're going to beat them. But whatever. We'll see what happens. Washington, Indiana. I don't even know how I have either of these teams 0-3 right now. But this is going to be a hard one. This very well could be a tie. I'm not going to go tie because that's just weird. But you know what? I'll go Indiana. I think they start, picking up themselves. And I think Daniel Jones starts balling out again, which he could have balled out in the previous season. I could be completely wrong with this list. Remember, I can be utterly wrong with what I'm picking here. New England versus Buffalo wins that one. I think New England, like I said, just wasn't that good last year. I think they played against good teams. Or they beat Buffalo. But I think Buffalo at home just gives that slight extra advantage of home field advantage with the crowd and everything, and I think they win that. Chicago beats the Jets. I think that's a guarantee. Ooh, this one's tricky. Cincinnati versus Jacksonville. I'm going to go, I think all, these scores, I think are horrible. 16-15 no, it's not going to happen. I think the Giants beat the Cardinals, and I think that's I think most people would say that. I don't think that's a hot take at all. Rams, Phillies. Philadelphia. I think Rams take that one pretty easy. I thought that was the last game of the week. I'm going crazy. We have Green Bay versus Tampa Bay. The Battle of the Bays. I mean, this one's, I could pick. This is a 50-50 at this point. Both teams are mid. I'll go Tampa, I guess. Tampa, maybe they're fixing themselves up by week 4 and they start looking decent. Tennessee, Baltimore. I think Baltimore takes that one pretty easily, which I kind of have them high right now. 3-1. It's week 4. I remember that. It's week 4. There's so many things can happen. Dallas, Houston. Do I really have Houston going 4-0? I guess I do. I'm going to go Dallas. Both Texas teams, so, there could be travel time, but it's not major. It's not going across the country. I think San Fran beats Denver, which I did just have Denver beating LA. I don't know. We're going to have to see. I think Detroit beats. Carolina has a chance of throwing this one, though. They could. What I noticed about Carolina last year is they play down to the level of the teams that they lose to. They'll lose. They lost to the Saints twice. I think the Panthers are better than the Saints, but they lost to the Saints twice. And then they beat the Rams. So I think they play up to the level that they're playing against. They play down to the level they're playing against, depending on if the team is better or worse. Actually, for that reason, I think maybe the Carolina Panthers do pull this one off. So, maybe they do. And then I think I'm going to go Saints here. Falcons defense, great, but I don't think their offense is going to do anything. No, I'm not. I'm going Atlanta. I have to. Again, I'm a casual. This could be horribly off by week 4. The Cowboys could be 1-3. The freaking Vikings could be 0-4. I could have this completely opposite, but we'll see. Dallas, I think, wins against Tampa Bay. Again, it's that offense that does everything for them. Philly beats Jacksonville. That one will be close, but I think Philly's just that good. Where they'll win because they're supposed to be better, and they will win because of it. But I do see this team falling apart within the next couple of years. I just don't know if that year is going to be this year, and because of that, I'm going to say they win. Houston versus Tennessee. It's probably Houston. Miami versus Cincinnati. Unless for some reason Malik Willis becomes prime something. I don't know how they're going to win a game. And I kind of do have higher hopes for Cincinnati, but again, by week 5, there could be an injury that we don't know about yet. So for that reason, I'll go Cincinnati, but Miami could very well win this game if there's an injury on Cincinnati's side. A big one, I'm saying. Raiders versus Patriots. I feel like I got to go Patriots there. Patriots, I only had 1-3. Now I have 2-3. But Raiders are going to have a struggle season this year again. They didn't have a lot of they had a couple big things. They got Trey Hendrickson. I think they were the ones that got Tyler Linderbaum for the offense. But I just don't think this is their season yet. No way I have the Vikings 5-0, right? We saw it. Last year, we saw the Colts go 8, and that wasn't expected. But I'm going to go Vikings. Here's the game where I think the Jets get their win. They get their first win playing the Browns. 16-21 sounds right too. I think Indiana then wins this one. I want to go Giants here so bad because I genuinely think they're a better team. But for some reason, Washington always has our card at least one of the games of the season. They had our card both games last year, and I don't think they're better than us last year at all. We beat the Eagles once and we beat the Cowboys once. I think the Eagles and the Cowboys are miles better than the Commanders, but I think they always tag us. So maybe they tag us this game. I don't know. We'll see. Denver versus the Chargers. I got Denver winning that one. Chicago versus Green Bay. This is a somewhat big rivalry game. I think it's a big rivalry game in that FC North. I'll go Green Bay. We'll say Green Bay for now. Detroit versus Arizona. Detroit. Seattle versus San Francisco. Holy close game. This is going to be a tie. It's not actually. I think San Fran pulls it off. I'm okay with that. Do I love it? No. Do I hate it? No. Let's say that. Baltimore. No way Baltimore's going 4-1. I'm so low on Baltimore, but the people they're playing must be horrible because I am very low on Baltimore this year. Like, they have the 27th ranked hardest prediction. Or hardest schedule. Yeah, oh my God. Their schedule is so easy. That's the only reason they're going to go to. I hate that so much. And then down here, we got Buffalo Rams. I'm going to go Rams. Not necessarily with ease, but not really that difficult either. Another one, this is the one I think should have been the Super Bowl matchup. I just think Seattle's the better team. But like, again, after this year, we don't know if Kenneth Walker really was that big of an option. And if them losing the couple players on defense that I'm pretty sure they lost, also hurts them. I'm going to go Denver. I think Seattle may have had like a one-off year where they went really far and then won it. And I think they are worse than San Francisco and the Rams. I think they're worse than both those teams, which is crazy to say because they just won the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I think genuinely, I think a lot of teams would have beaten the Patriots in the Super Bowl there. I just don't think they were ready. And I think the Rams would have beat them. I think the 49ers would have beat them. I think the Bears would have beat them. Honestly, I really do. I'm just surprised. A lot of circumstances, a lot of things went right for the Patriots to get there. Same thing here. Jacksonville, Houston, not same thing, but you know what I'm saying. I think Houston is a better team, but I feel like there's no way they're going to go 5-1. No, maybe there is. I'm going to go Houston. I just think, again, I think that defense holds them up so high. I don't think they score 40 points in any of their games, by the way, but I think their defense holds them very high. Maybe their offense does come back. I think Tank Dell's supposed to come back this year, so like that'll help their offense actually a lot. So we'll see. Chicago wins this one. I think Atlanta's fraudulent as hell. Oh my God, another. Dude, I genuinely, and I'm gonna get hate for this. If people actually see this video, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I think John Harbaugh put them on a level that they should not be. I think John Harbaugh's that good of a coach. I might be a Glazer. Who knows? Indiana wins this game. New England versus the Jets. Sorry, Jets. You guys are doo-doo dog. Saints, Giants. It's the Giants. Give me the Giants. Stop it. Stop. Literally stop. Philadelphia beats Carolina. I'll say Pittsburgh beats Tampa Bay, actually. I don't know if I love that. I'm going to go Pittsburgh. Rams beat Arizona. They're terrible. The Cardinals, that is. I hate it a lot, actually, because I really don't like Kansas City because they won so much, but I'm scared how much they're going to come back. This is probably Travis Kelce's last season. Patrick Mahomes is coming back from an injury, and he wants redemption. I don't know. That's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to beat the Chiefs this year, I think. Buffalo beats the Raiders. Does Green Bay beat Dallas? I feel like this is like an unk rivalry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this is like both old teams that have rivalries against each other. And I don't know. I feel like Green Bay can pull it off. I just think Dallas might be too good for it. The only thing that would throw that off, if for some reason there's snow this early in the season, that messes with Dallas. But I don't think there's going to be. I also think there's a chance that Dallas has an injury. Like that kind of injury prone. He's been injured 2 or 3 times in his career. So that also could deal with something. Not that I don't want him to be. That would be terrible, obvious reasons, but you know who has a hard schedule is the Commanders. Jeez, 1-5. I'm also low on the Commanders, but rough. New England versus Chicago. It's probably a close game, actually. Both young quarterbacks going into the 3rd season. Both second-year coaches. Defenses are decent. I don't know, actually. I might go New England here. I feel like my heart's saying Chicago, but my brain is telling me New England, and I want to go with my brain. I don't know why. I'm going to go Chicago, New Orleans. I'm lying. I'm going Chicago and New Orleans. I think the New Orleans will win this one, even though I genuinely think they're fraudulent. San Francisco wins this one. I'm going to go Tennessee. I think Tennessee's going to be decent this year, but Cleveland just sucks. I actually hate that I have the Vikings going 6-0, but I think I have the Vikings going 6-0. That's bad. Okay, whatever. Miami versus the Jets. Foof. Poverty Bowl right here. Poverty Bowl right here. This is going to be pitiful. Absolutely pitiful. This is rough. This is rough. I'm going to go to the Jets. Maybe the Jets are starting to get better. Yeah, that's going to be a rough one. I'm actually going to Tampa Bay here. I think Tampa Bay, they started off so hot last year. They were Super Bowl favorites by like week 10 or week 7 or some shit like that. They just have that. I think they're going to be decent again this year, even though they lost a couple players. I'll go Detroit at home versus Green Bay. I think Arizona's going to be this team, by the way, going back to Arizona, where they're just going to like this game could very well go in Arizona's favor. Just because they're going to win one of the hardest games of their season. How do we look at Arizona? I got to go over here, right? Arizona's NFC. They are NFC. Oh, there we go. Like, Arizona Chargers schedule, okay, why doesn't it say? That's terrible. Why did the last one say? Oh, that's why. They have the hardest schedule in the league. That's going to hurt them. Yeah, okay. Arizona might actually go 0-7 by this point. Rams, this is going to be a hard game for both teams. I just think Seattle's defense is that much better. And then Dallas, Philly, I'll go Philly. Yeah, I'll go Philly. I feel like that feels right. All right. Going into week 8, we have the Rams as a 2 seed, Philly as a 3 seed, Tampa Bay as a 4. 5 is San Fran, 6 is Seattle, 7 is Cowgirls, and then Broncos, Texans, Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, Jags, Chargers. That's going to change by the end of the season, I believe. Green Bay. Buffalo beats Baltimore. That'll probably be close score, maybe. I don't know. If Cincinnati's healthy, they beat Tennessee. If they don't, Tennessee beats Cincinnati, but I'll go Cincinnati just for that reason. Yeah, Arizona might be getting that first overall. I think they're going for Arch Manning anyways. I think that's who they want. So they might kind of, fall under the radar. Which Arch Manning might not be the number one name, but that's the number one name I've heard. So I don't know. Detroit versus Minnesota or Minnesota Viking. Yeah, that's right. We're going to Detroit here. I think Detroit's going to have a better year this year. They are kind of falling apart a little bit, but I don't know. I just think they're going to have their last little push. I don't want to relate this to someone who's dying, but this happens when someone's dying, is in their last couple days, maybe their last week or so, they'll have this push and be it'll seem like they're back. It'll seem like everything makes sense, everything's going well, everything's good, and then randomly they'll pass away. And I think that's happening in football terms, basically. I think Detroit's going to have this spectacular season, and then next season they're going to suck because players are going to get traded or they're going to leave or, something's going to happen. Can't pay for them, whatever, and they're going to suck again. Prove me wrong. But I think they'll have their spark this year and then fall off a cliff. I'm going to go Raiders. I think that's accurate. I think Raiders are going to be decent enough to beat the Jets. I want to be higher on the Jets because most of my family is Jets fans, but it's hard to be high on the Jets right now. I don't think there's much going for them. They're going to have a decent defense probably, but their offense is rough. They have Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall keeping that offense together. You can't win with two offensive weapons. Their tight end might be good too. I can't remember his name, but I remember he's all right. Just because Cleveland's probably going to get a win once in this season, I'll say they'll beat their division rival. Am I really convinced? No. Also, I don't know how. No, they have Mike McCarthy. There's no way Pittsburgh's going 3-5. What? Wait, what? And their schedule's not that hard. I had them losing to who? Oh yeah, I guess some of these make sense. They should beat them. I should have them at 3 wins right now. Do they beat the Browns twice? Probably. Yeah, that makes sense. In the thing, they win more. I'll go Jacksonville here. I'll go Rams here. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Kansas City versus Denver very well could be the AFC Championship again. I think I already said that, but I think this is their second time meeting. And probably their last time meeting for the season. I guess the season, yeah, but they might meet again in the postseason. Did I have Kansas City winning the first one? Where did they meet? Week 1, week 2? I think they're going to go 1-1 with each other. I had Denver winning the first one. I'll go Kansas City for this one. And then Seattle wins this one. Going into week 9, things have changed already. Took 1 week and things have changed. Okay. Cincinnati, Atlanta. I'm going to go Cincinnati, expecting people are healthy still. Expecting healthy players. I just think their offense is going to be unstoppable if everyone's healthy. Also depends on how their offensive line works. The offensive line might choke the bed like they have the past couple of years. Which also, if everyone's healthy, Atlanta could very well win this game. But I'll say Cincinnati. Dallas here. I hate that I have Dallas 7-2, but whatever. Kansas City wins this one. Detroit wins this one. New Orleans win this one, but it could be Cleveland. I'll go New Orleans though. I say when Philly's at home, we'll beat them. When we play them later in the season, I'm going to have the Giants winning. Yeah, Rams win this one. Rams are going to be extremely scary. Denver, Carolina. I don't even know why I'm guessing. Okay. Houston and the Chargers. I'll go Houston. I don't love the Houston at 7-1 either. I'm going to go Houston. How hard is Houston's schedule? Because their schedule might be extremely easy. Yeah, their schedule's really easy. Chargers schedule. How hard is that? That does make a little bit of sense there. Buffalo wins this one. Yeah. I like that quick little thing at the end there. Then I'll go Jacksonville, Indiana. This is really tricky because I'm picking the teams that have better records at this point. And I don't love that because random week, Miami could beat Indiana. And it's what the heck just happened? But I have Indiana really low too. How hard is Indiana's schedule? It's not even that hard, and I have them losing a lot of games. That's interesting. I don't know. That'll be weird. Indiana could very well be 8-2 by this point, and we just will have no idea. That's how they were last year, I'm pretty sure, at week 10. Anyways, Carolina versus New Orleans won twice last season. I'll say Carolina wins one of these. I think I had New Orleans last time they met. And I got Buffalo versus the Jets. It's going to be hard. I think Buffalo takes it. I think Buffalo's schedule is also really easy. 14th, not terribly easy. I got them at 6-3, though. I think a lot can depend on your head coach. And that head coach could make this team easily from 6-3 to 3-6. I don't know how good that head coach is going to be. Rams, I think they win that one. San Fran, I think, beats Dallas. I think overall, Dallas is a decent team. I just think San Fran's better. Same thing here. Overall, I think Pittsburgh's a better team. I probably would take Cincinnati here as the better team, though. And then Chargers, Baltimore. I'm going to go Chargers there. Again, I might be a Baltimore hater. I'm not going to lie. Okay. Week 11. I think Houston has, wait, what did I say Houston's rank of schedule was? Fairly easy, but 9-1 is crazy. Whatever. I'm going to keep him at 9-1. Whatever. Probably wins this game. Tampa Bay. I'll go Tampa Bay here. Why not? Honestly, why not? Again, it could be starting to get a little cold, so the atmosphere here might be a little frustrating for Tampa Bay because Detroit's played in it already. But, we'll see. Whatever. Kansas City here, and then I'm going to have the Giants beating the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Giants are going to start getting their push, I think, here, because I think the Giants' schedule from here on out gets a little bit easier. Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. You play the Colts, and then you play the 49ers and the Seahawks. But then right here, I think we can win all 4 of these games, so we'll see. Carolina Panthers versus Baltimore. I'll go Baltimore. I think still their team is better than Carolina's team, but I think coaching-wise, I don't know what's going to happen. I think Jesse Minter's their head coach. Was he the offensive coordinator for Baltimore? I don't know. I might think of the wrong team. Chargers beat the Jets. Denver. But again, I'm also like this whole list here. Any team can win any week. Tennessee could beat Dallas. Technically, Miami could beat Buffalo. Do I see it happening? No, but it's very possible. And I know I'm severely wrong on some of these teams, but whatever. Things happen. Philly beats Pittsburgh. San Fran beats Minnesota, and I don't know. I want to go Cincinnati because I want them to be a good team again, because I want Joe Burrow to win that ring so that he doesn't become one of the best players of all time to never win a ring, because I think that's Dan Marino as of right now, and I don't think, whatever. I don't think he's going to win the ring this year, by the way. I don't think Joe Burrow wins the ring this year, but I just want it to happen eventually. Green Bay, the Rams win that one. Detroit, Cincinnati. I got Detroit at home. I'm lying. No, I'm not. I said Cincinnati. I'm at Chicago. Philly, Dallas. So this game actually might be a deciding factor on which team gets a better seed in the playoffs. Because both teams, I think, will probably make the playoffs. No, wait, what? Do I have the Giants not making the playoffs this year? I might not have the Giants making the playoffs. We'll see. Denver. I really have Pittsburgh low this year. Holy crap. Saints, Cincinnati. I'll go Saints. Or I'm at Cincinnati. You know what? I'll say Cleveland wins their first game here. I'll say Giants. They beat Daniel Jones. We'll say I'm assuming no team's going to actually go 0-16. So I'm going to give them wins when I think they'll maybe get them. Holy cow, I have the Commanders low. I'm going to pick them real quick there because I don't think they're going to be 3-8. That's going to be a rough one. Minnesota goes 7-4. I think Houston wins this one. Holy crap, I have Houston going 10-1. This is going to be a rough year. This is not good. Okay, anyways. Jacksonville versus Tennessee. Probably Jacksonville. Tennessee might just want to push, but they're not going to the playoffs, and I think by this point they already know. San Francisco versus Seattle. That's a hard one. I'm going to go San Fran. I'll go San Fran going 10-1 too is crazy, but whatever. Things will happen. Okay, Chargers versus New England. I'll go Chargers. No, I'll go New England. I'm sorry. I'm not going to disrespect New England like that. And then, no, Chargers are still really good though. So I'm not disrespecting it in that way. I'm just saying Patriots are still going to be a positive team next year. Yeah, I'll do that. I think that's right. And then Tampa Bay beating Carolina is also probably right. I can see Carolina pulling this one off though. I don't know. I think Carolina is going to regress, but at the same time, if you look at my NFC South over here, all the teams in the NFC South are really bad this year. I think they were really bad last year. And again, the Saints, who knows? The Saints can go 8 and can be one of the most dominant teams in the NFC. I just don't see that happening, but whatever. We'll see what happens. Again, every week anyone can win. It's going to be a struggle. The NFL's a struggle. I don't know. And again, injuries can happen too. By week 3, for all we know, who do I have high up here? For all we know, week 3, Dak Prescott can go down. And the Cowboys are not 9-3 without Dak Prescott. Or Joe Burrow can go down. And without Joe Burrow, they're not 8-3 without him. Same thing with, maybe CJ Stroud's. But, things can happen where these teams would then be a lot worse by this point. So I could be severely wrong, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, countless times. Rams win this one. It's going to be a really close game here. I think the 3-point difference is probably pretty close. I might even make this 30-32. They win off a field goal. They're down by 1, have to drive down the field, win by field goal sort of thing. Again, that could very well be the Super Bowl this year. I want to say the Giants win this game. I really do, because I believe the Giants defensively will be as good as San Francisco defensively. But I think people will call me delusional if I do anything other than and make the San Francisco 49ers win this game. I think the Giants have a chance to win every game that they are in this season. It's just going to be hard. And obviously they're not going to go 16-0, but whatever. Or 17-0. I keep saying 0-16. I just realized I've said 0-16 1,000 times this video. And I mean 0-17 or 17-0 because I forgot. I keep forgetting they play 17 games. Anyways, Detroit versus Atlanta. Probably Detroit. They're going to have this extra fire in them to get into the playoffs. Also, I really think Atlanta is going to be bad this year only because of their quarterback. If they had a good quarterback, they could very well be 9-3. But I think because they have a bad quarterback, they're going to be 3-9. Could change. Who knows? There's also time. There's a week before training camp roughly. And then that means there's like 5 weeks until the regular season. And then the trade deadline is like halfway through the season, roughly. So I think, or a couple weeks into the season, maybe. So, they could trade and get a decent quarterback, but that's not very likely. Chicago, Jacksonville. I think there's going to be a closer game than people think. Like Jacksonville can very well win this game. Week 13, you're getting into November or December. No, I'm lying. You're getting into October. So it could start to get cold. I'm going to go home field advantage here. Maybe it's getting a little colder in Chicago, and they're prepared for it, whereas Jacksonville wouldn't be as prepared for it. Cincinnati, Cleveland. I'll go Cincinnati. I just really don't like Cleveland this year. Cleveland can shock the world. If Deshaun Watson becomes their starting quarterback again and decides he wants to ball out and be the best we've seen him in 5 years, then sure, go for it. But I really don't think this team's going to do anything good. I feel like Tennessee needs another year. I really do. But I got to go Washington here. People are so high on Washington too. I am very low on them. And maybe it's because I'm a Giants fan and I'm not supposed to like Washington. But I'm just not very high on them. I think Tennessee could very well win this game and go 3-9 and make them have a same record as Washington. I'll just go Washington to not get hated. No, you know what? Screw it. I don't care. I'm going Tennessee. Green Bay probably wins this one. Denver will win this one. Philly will win this one. Buffalo will beat the Patriots. No, I'm going to go Patriots at home. Only because I think I went Buffalo earlier in the season, and I may have to check that. Where were they playing? I might have to fix this. Was it week 4? Yeah, it was. I had Buffalo winning, so I got to go Patriots this time. So I'm right with what I'm saying. I'll go Patriots this time. Pittsburgh versus Houston. Again, Pittsburgh, I actually don't think is going to go 3-8. I don't really want to go Houston. I really don't want to go Houston again either. But I don't think the Steelers are the ones. I've picked so many teams for Houston to beat. Like, who did I pick? I had Houston beating the Bills, the Bengals, the Colts. Like, I maybe had one of these teams not them losing to, and it was probably the Bills or the Cowboys. But I'll go Pittsburgh maybe. No, I'm not. I'm going Houston. I hate that. And then I'm going Seattle here. I don't think Dallas is prepared for Seattle properly. Going into week 14, we have Houston and the Rams as the 1 seed with these guys following up here. Diabolical, by the way. Minnesota, New England. I'll go Minnesota. No, I'm not. I'm going Minnesota. I'm lying. How is New England's schedule this year? I feel like this is also an easy schedule. No, it's not. You know what? I will go Minnesota. I think Minnesota's going to have a spectacular year. I'll go Minnesota. Cleveland, Atlanta. Screw it. I really don't. This doesn't matter. Me picking these teams don't even matter anymore. So I'll pick Cleveland because of that. I'll pick Detroit here. No, I'll pick Detroit here. Chicago, Denver, Philly. These records are not accurate. They will not be accurate at all when it comes game time. Whatever. I could very well go Tampa Bay here. I'll go Baltimore. I'll put some respect on Lamar and Derrick Henry, but those are the only 2 people on the team that are actually good. That's it. That's literally where it stops. Kidding. They just got an edge rusher that's good. But still, KC will win this one. Freak. This is a battle of the NFC West right here. Whoever wins this game wins the entire NFC West most likely. I don't know. Just to make the playoff picture probably the most accurate, I'll go Rams. San Francisco at home probably has a chance, though. A good chance. This is where we play Seattle. Seattle's going to beat the Giants. I hate it so much. I also think the Giants could very well lose only 4 games. Think about this. Okay, listen. Everyone's so low on the Giants because they've been so bad since like 2011 when we won the Super Bowl. But remember this. The Giants last year were 4-12. Is mathing? Math is not mathing. 4-13. We were winning in the fourth quarter. 7 games. So let's say we even win 5 of those games. Just 5 of those games were 9-8. And we have a better team this year by crazy margins. And I think a coach like John Harbaugh will take those 7 losses and potentially win 5 of those games. If not all 7 of the games that we were up. Just because he's been in the situation, he knows how to handle it better than Dable did. And I know Ravens fans would tell me, yeah, but he did the same thing in the Ravens. Only a couple games per season, not 7. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a chance that John Harbaugh helps us out significantly there. And don't get me wrong, we still have Matt Nagy. Well, we now have Matt Nagy, who's shown himself as an offensive coordinator. He's a Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. And Denard Wilson, who's been a spectacular defensive coordinator. So I'm just saying, I think the Giants have chances of winning these games. Like, very well could beat the Seahawks, but I'll say Seahawks just because they just won the Super Bowl and everything. I'll go Buffalo beating Green Bay, and I will go Pittsburgh beating Jacksonville. In a weird scenario there where Pittsburgh wins that game. But I think they'll win it. Maybe not. They'll probably lose it. I don't know. But I just got to try to get some of these records better. Stanford probably. I'll go Seattle here. I'll go Buffalo here. I'll go Green Bay here. I will go Indiana here. I'm going to go Giants here easily. I think the Giants no matter what year it is, beats Cleveland. Cleveland's so bad. Baltimore wins here. Pittsburgh has a chance, but I'll say Baltimore. I'm going to say Tampa Bay here. I really hate Baltimore being 9-5. I don't think they're a playoff team, but, it's whatever. I'll go Houston against Jacksonville. Jacksonville could very well win this game, but I'll go Houston. Which is crazy. I have Houston at 13-1. I didn't realize how high I was on Houston. I really didn't. I'm very high on Houston, apparently. Just because Cardinals won't go 0-13 or 0-17, I'll make them win this game against the Jets, and I'll have Kansas City winning. This could be a New England win, though. I'll go Kansas City. I think Kansas City's going to be back to where they were a couple years ago, which is terrifying, but whatever. No, I'll go Philly. Just cold weather might affect Houston a little more than it would affect Philly, because week 16, we're getting into December times, just about. Isn't one of these weeks Christmas? I don't know. Green Bay or Chicago, I meant. Denver, Buffalo. Weird. But I'm going to say Buffalo takes them out. That score is not accurate, but that's fine. I'm lying. Denver's taking that game. Seattle beat them last year 3 times. Who do I have earlier in the year? That's really what I have to go on. No, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to say they go 1-1. I'm going to just say Seattle wins this one. If I said Seattle won the last one, whatever. Let's say they win this one. I don't know. Seattle lost a good amount of players. I'm going Rams. I have to switch up on what I just said. Indianapolis wins this one. No, Cincinnati. No, Indianapolis. No, Cincinnati. And then we got Minnesota here. Pittsburgh, Chargers, New Orleans. I'll throw Cardinals in there. Let's throw the Cardinals. No, let's throw New Orleans in there. New Orleans will probably win that game. I want to at least get some of these games right, even though the overall games are wrong. They're probably not going 5-10. I could see them going 11-4, Minnesota. So maybe. New England will be the Jets both times, probably. Jets at home could do it, but I don't think by this time, I don't think enough Jets fans will show up because they're so mad at their team again. Baltimore will probably beat the Browns. Not a 10-win team whatsoever, in my opinion, but it is what it is. That will win this one. I'm lying. San Francisco wins that one. No, I'm going 49ers. Detroit or Dallas, I meant. Wow. Giants beat Detroit. It's that simple. We've almost beat them last season. We will actually beat them this season. Cincinnati will beat, if Cincinnati's healthy. Again, this could be very, very wrong. If Cincinnati's healthy, they beat Baltimore. Also got a new head coach, I'm pretty sure, which they needed severely. In this game, we got Denver. I think Denver was a better team last year. I think that snow game and Bo Nix being hurt threw them off. So that's just my opinion on that. KC beats the Chargers. Rams beat Tampa Bay. Would Jacksonville be in conversations if they win this? I think no matter what, Jacksonville might be out of the conversation. Unless they win the next couple games and have a couple people lose. I'll say they win this game anyways. But there's a chance Jacksonville doesn't make it to the playoffs. Interesting. Okay, New Orleans versus Atlanta. I'll go Atlanta on that one. Not really. Again, these games now don't matter. Like Indianapolis versus Cleveland. Indianapolis should win that game. They probably will win that game. It's not going to matter to the playoffs. In my opinion. Okay. Did I have us beating Dallas the first time? You know what? We sweep Dallas. I don't think Dallas is good. My opinion. Okay. Pittsburgh will win this one, and then we'll have Buffalo winning this one. Minnesota wins against the Jets. Seattle wins against Carolina. I'll go with the Raiders. And then I hate this right now because I don't know. We'll see what happens. I really don't know. I want to go Detroit. I'm going to go Chicago. I don't love it, but I'm going to do it. San Francisco beats Philly, I think. And Green Bay versus Houston. Probably Houston. Was this a playoff game a couple years ago? I feel like this was a playoff game a couple years ago. I don't know. I'll go Houston here. Green Bay could very well win this game. I'll go Houston, though. Okay, listen. I have the Giants winning this one. We beat them once last year. We could beat them once this year. Which actually puts us at the 1 seed. Potentially tied for the 1 seed, depending on how I have the other teams rated here. I got Buffalo winning here. I'll go Baltimore winning here, but again, could be Pittsburgh winning. Wouldn't matter to anything, I don't think, as of right now. It doesn't matter what I have here, I don't think, but I'll say Cincinnati beats, again, assuming everyone's healthy. This is my opinion, okay? Jacksonville versus Indiana. I'll go Jacksonville. Yeah. I'll go Houston here. 15-2 is diabolical. I will go Kansas City here and Denver. Yeah, that makes sense. Dallas versus Washington. Dallas will probably win that game. Wow. Because I have the Giants beating Dallas twice. So, what if I did this? Giants would be at it. Wow. I have the Giants very close to being out of the playoff picture because of how good the NFC is. Disgusting. Minnesota Vikings beat Chicago. I got the Atlanta. This one doesn't matter. I'll go the Panthers. This one will matter. San Francisco wins that one. Rams win this one. No, I had Seattle. I'm going to say Seattle wins this one. And then I'll go Green Bay. I'll go New England. And then I'll go Tampa, I guess. Okay, wow. So this is the playoff picture. So let's go playoff bracket. So now we have, which again, could be very unrealistic. This is my assumption based on if everyone's healthy of what's going to happen. And I genuinely do think the Giants will be in the playoffs. I don't necessarily think 3 seed, but it's going to be hard to get in the playoffs with these teams here. You know what I'm saying? These teams are going to be very difficult to get past. Wild card round, this sucks. based on how I have it, I'm going to say that I'm going to do all AFC first, then I'll do NFC. The Texans win. And I'm going to say here that the Chiefs win. And then Chiefs versus Texans. This is not going to be a close game. I'm just saying the Chiefs are so strong. I don't believe in... I could go either of these teams, though. And I think they go to the Super Bowl because I don't believe in CJ Stroud to bring a team to the Super Bowl. Although I'm really high on them, I don't see them going to the Super Bowl. Their defense is so good, though. I'm going to go Kansas City going to the Super Bowl, and I absolutely despise that with all of my heart. I want to say that the Bills win. I do. But just they in the playoffs. And I don't think this year's going to be any different. I still think head coach battle, but Andy Reid is better. I still think that Patrick Mahomes is probably better overall. And I don't necessarily think the team's better anymore because I don't really like the team that the Kansas City has. But whatever. I'll have Kansas City going to the Super Bowl. And then over here, already, I hate it because I know Seattle will beat the Giants. So I hate that so much. I'll go Vikings winning week 1 in the playoffs, and I'll go San Fran here. And I'm going to go San Fran versus the Rams. I'll go Rams. I have the Rams as the Super Bowl champions for the 2026-27 season. Honestly, it is expected. I think everyone's expecting that. The playoff picture may not be as expected. Here's my playoff picture for the 26-27 season. I have the Texans 1 overall, Broncos 2, Cincy 3, Bills 4, Chiefs 5, Ravens 6, Patriots 7. And on the NFC side, I have the Rams at number 1. I have the Vikings at number 2. I have the Giants at number 3. I have the Buccaneers at number 4. I have the 49ers at number 5, the Seahawks at number 6, and the Bears at number 7. And like I said, I have the Rams winning the Super Bowl this year. We'll see what actually happens, but this is just my prediction. It's probably very wrong, as most things are when you're trying to predict this early. But that was fun. I loved it. Subscribe. Later, YouTube. Bang. That was my YouTube video. Okay. That makes it really interesting, which means my draft order is I had 2 teams going 1-16, by the way. That's rough. Now that I'm looking at this too, like the Giants, it's going to be very hard for them to get into the playoffs because there's so many really, really good NFC teams. Like the entirety of the NFC West is really good. Unless for some reason Seattle falls off a cliff, which I don't think they will. Or the Rams aren't as good as they should be, which I'll think they'll be that good. Or for some reason that the 49ers are terrible, which also don't think they'll be terrible. I think I have the Vikings very high, but I think that's because the Vikings they're so good, they just don't have a quarterback. And I think this year they'll have a quarterback that's very competent. I think Kyler Murray is their week 1 starter with ease. And I think it's going to be harder than you think to beat the Vikings this year. Same thing happened. Well, how hard is the Vikings schedule, right? That is a thing. They have 17th hardest schedule, so kind of like middle of the pack roughly. But if you look 2 years ago when they went 14-3, yeah, how hard was their schedule this year? Does it say how hard their schedule was? Doesn't appear to say how hard their schedule was. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to tell. For now though, I'm gonna grab some water. I'm gonna grab some water, and then we're gonna play a game. Let's see do I have fun? What's going on online? I might play Minecraft. Could be a good Madden day, I guess too. Yeah, this is gonna scare me. This playoff picture. Because I don't know if the Giants are really going to get it done as 11-6. I also don't think 11-6 wins the division, which is disgusting to say. All right, I guess I'll go play Madden probably. That was fun though, doing that little tier list. That was really fun. It kind of scares me for the season more though, because I don't know if I believe in the Giants to win the division necessarily, which is hard to say. Because I think they have the best team. Like genuinely, I think overall, I think their team is genuinely the best in the NFC East when it comes to depth chart. Not necessarily in the specific positions, just overall. Like quarterback, then it's probably Jalen Hurts, then it's probably Jackson Dart, based on last year at least. But then we can go into the Cowboys. I think you go wide receiver room. I think the Cowboys probably take it. And then it's healthy. It's probably the Giants. Honestly, the Giants' overall quarterback room or wide receiver room is probably the best. It's just we don't know how good some are going to play. Like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are obviously the best duo in the NFC East. But Malik Neighbors is just as good as CeeDee and George Pickens. And, Malachi Fields could be that guy. Or who else? Odell could still be very good. We have Darnell Mooney, who could be great. Darius Slayton made a couple great catches last year. Wide tight end room? I think the Giants clear. I think Isaiah Likely is the best tight end in the division. I think Theo Johnson is the best tight end 2 in the division. And I think tight end 3 is, can't remember, is Thomas Fidel. I think he's probably the best tight end 3 in the division. And I might put him at tight end 1 on other teams in the division. Dallas Goedert might be better than Isaiah Likely now that I'm thinking about it. And Carson Schlesinger is probably also really good. Schlesinger's a defensive player. I'm high. No, I'm not. Is he a tight end? I don't know. Whatever. We got edge rushing room. Giants take it by far. Linebacker room, I think Giants probably take that one as well. I mean, Zach Bond's really good, but so is Tremaine Edmonds. And then Arvell Reese. I think by the end of the season, it'll be Giants linebacker room. Cornerback room. Cornerbacks like DBs, we'll say. Quarterbacks and safeties. It's probably the Eagles, and maybe the Cowboys are close. But I think the Giants are right there with them. And I think by the end of the season, again, DBs could be a strong point on the Giants defense that we didn't realize was going to be there because they've been so bad the past couple seasons. And honestly, the room didn't change that much. Front seven overall, the Giants might be the best in the league. I don't know if anyone beats the Giants front seven. It's just disgusting. Who else we got? What are the teams? Offensive line. It might be the Eagles right now, but the Eagles are getting old, so I think it's the Giants second up. Honestly, what all I'm saying is I think on paper, the Commanders are the worst team in the division, and it's not even close. And I think based on how I rank things, I think that's accurate. I don't trust the Commanders to do anything this season. A lot of people are really high on the Commanders, think they're going to get back to how they were a couple years ago. And I heard I watched something earlier of a Giants podcast, and they were at Fanatics Fest. And apparently a Commanders fan came up to them and said that the Commanders have one of the best rosters. It has the best roster in the division. And it's hard to hear that. It's like, no, you don't. It's not even close, actually. I think the Commanders have the worst in the division by far, and it's a possibility that I would say one of the worst in the league. They have good pieces. They have Zach Ertz, who was hurt, though. They have Jaden Daniels, who played really good that first season that he was playing. Second season, he got hurt because he's very skinny, and I think because of that, he injured himself when he fell down because he's not strong enough. I don't think he's strong enough to be in the NFL necessarily. And people compared him to Lamar Jackson, and don't get me wrong, he has a similar build and everything. It's just Lamar's stronger. Lamar's built to be in the NFL more than Jaden Daniels, at least. I don't think Jaden Daniels. I mean, I think Jaden Daniels is very good. I just don't think he's big enough to be great. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm kind of yapping because I know no one's in here. But at the same time, it's like, I could probably get people in here in a second if I just went on, because people follow me more on TikTok than they do on Twitch. But yeah, let me text my mom, actually. We're supposed to go to Topgolf soon. I don't remember when Topgolf was going to be. It might be tomorrow for all I know. Oh, dude, I went to the gym twice. Yesterday and today. Yesterday I did pull. So I did biceps. Biceps is a pull. I did like lats. So the pull down is lats. And I did the pull backs, which is like back. And that might be it. But I did them at like where I went up. So I did 10 at like a certain weight. Then I went up one or the third set. And then for the fourth set, I went down to the second one. And I tried to just max that bitch out, like however many I could. And that's how I recommend everyone work out. It gives you the most fatigue for sure, but you feel good. Like I feel if it didn't hurt right now, I'd feel like I'm doing something wrong. And since it hurts and since I'm sore, it feels like I'm doing something right. Holy shit, if I do that, I look massive. I'm going to be big, I think. I'm fat initially, but I'm going to try to get to work. I'm an hour and I might have a NeuroGum to kind of pipe that into shape, but I think I'm going to edit and then finish my edit of the one video and get that posted for tomorrow, and then edit what I just made today and get that posted for probably middle of the week. And then I'm going to watch a movie tonight, I think, and just kind of chill and relax and settle down and be ready for tomorrow's gym day. Probably got to do some laundry too. Anyways, short stream. I might be live again later if for some reason my brother gets on and we decide we want to play Minecraft, or if I decide I want to get on like Madden or MLB The Show later, and then I'll get on to play that. But I don't want to play games without being on stream, if that makes any sense. I feel like I'm a degenerate loser if I'm not doing that. But editing and stuff, I want to do off stream, and I have to get videos out there, and I want to prepare for maybe tomorrow and prepare for future days. I did have another plan of today, by the way. That was my big plan. My big plan was to do like the season and everything, but I have in my notes app some other shit I wanted to do. That's just today. Yeah, predicting the whole NFL season and postseason, I did that, and then hot takes. So this could be TikToks, blind rate Pokemons. And tomorrow I'm going to do hot takes. Tomorrow's a hot takes day. So tomorrow what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on stream. Maybe we'll play a couple games like Weddle and whatnot. And like maybe we'll try Immaculate Grid again. But then we're going to do hot takes. So all day we're doing hot takes. We're going to do why I believe the Giants are going to win the NFC East. We're going to do, I'm going to do a hot take, and then I'm going to go into depth on why I believe that hot take. And we're going to try to make that a video as well. Like I have one here. I said the DCU will eventually be as good as the MCU, but nostalgia will make it feel different. It's a hot take. I don't know if I 100% believe it because the MCU was so good for so many years. But the DCU has that potential. we know the characters just as much. Not anymore, but we can know the characters just as much. There's a lot of really cool characters in the DCU, and the person running it is a really, really, really good filmmaker. And don't get me wrong, like right now, the Russo brothers are directing Doomsday, and they directed a couple other projects. But like, who's to say that the Russo brothers are not connected to Marvel in any way? Well, they are for the movies, but like I'm saying, they're not on contract to work with only Marvel. So who knows? Maybe the Russo brothers will come in and direct the Justice League, or they'll come in and direct, another big movie like that. I want to see the Flash in the DCU. Like, we know the Flash, everyone knows the Arrow because of the TV shows. Supergirl, I think, was a good movie. I have had many people say it was dog shit, but we're getting into that more tomorrow. The Harry Potter's 8 movies are better than Star Wars 9 made movies. Again, most of me believes that, but there's a part of me that really, 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 maybe watch Star Wars tonight after I, do some laundry and do a little bit of editing, salary cap, all that shit. Okay. Anyways, no one's here, so I'm kind of just yapping, but tomorrow we'll get into it, and I will be on TikTok all day tomorrow too, so that we can get some TikTok conversations going while I'm yapping about my hot takes. And I'll probably post a couple of hot takes tonight or tomorrow, because that's the whole stream tomorrow. All right. Peace.